Brock, you hit that three when the game was tied. I think it was 52-52, something like that. Spearhead a 14-0 run. Just take me through that stretch of play for you and kind of how it helped engineer the win.
We were running a play to get Dylan to sue the ball, and he draws so much attention that when I slipped out of the ball screen, they were guarding him, and Max was the one that passed to me, so two lethal players, and I was wide open and hit the shot.
Dylan, or you guys could answer too. What was kind of the key factor in that 14-0 run or whatever it was?
We were just hurting ourselves on offense. Defensively, I think coach said we had like seven straight stops to start the half or something like that. But then we started turning the ball over on offense, taking long shots without our guys getting back, which led to them getting runouts in transition. So once we started taking better shots and helping our defense by taking better shots, then we started to get stops again.
Corey in the back, please.
Dylan, you came in here with a bunch of energy right here. Love it, by the way. But how do these last couple games feel? How's the team feeling? It seems like it's very positive energy right now.
Yeah, I mean, we feel like we're starting to figure out how to play, what we have to do on the defensive end of the floor in order to have success in the game overall. I think the last 3 out of the last 4 games we've stepped our game up on defense, and that's led to success.
For Kendall and Brock, Oklahoma State's coach is saying Dylan should be in Player of the Year consideration of the Big 12. Other than scoring, what's something he does that's extremely valuable to this team?
He's a great leader. I'm a young guy, and he always coaches me up, telling me what to do. So.
His defensive prowess is also something that we rely on. Not only can he go score 20 on any given night, but he protects the rim, changes shots, has good hands, just all-around player.
Kendall, as I was watching you play tonight, I wrote down one word: omnipresent. I mean, you're everywhere. Can you walk us through what it's like? What was it like for you to have a game like you did today?
I'm just trying to be a star in my role. My teammates are trusting me, and I have to have their back and make the right plays for them. So.
Mike, far left back.
Dylan, does the fact that you sort of peaked last year at this time of year and you were playing your best basketball in March, does that give you confidence knowing that you could do that again this year? And what is it about March that you enjoy?
I mean, I love March just as much as anybody else who loves basketball. But I don't think that has anything to do with the reason I peaked. I think that I kind of just started to embrace my role even more around this time last year. We had some guys go down in that Big 12 tournament, which kind of opened some things up for me. And RT kind of started to trust me more. The coaching staff, my teammates began to trust me more. And so I think that has a lot to do with it more than anything about myself. Just the encouragement and the confidence instilled in me by everybody else around me is the biggest thing.
Kirk.
Yep. Dylan, I'd like to get your comments on the bench per grade here. You got 34 points out of 2 games, which probably wasn't the focus of their scouting report. So what kind of luxury is that? What do they give?
Yeah, the last 2 games, the bench has been great. I kind of view like Caden and Kendall as 6th and 7th like starters, almost like Jabari Rice was for us last year. Both of them are both capable players. Kendall provides great defense and offense, both at the rim and in transition. And Caden can explode for he had 10 points in like 10 minutes last game. So he's a great player when he gets into his bag and does what he's great at. So it's been great to have the bench guys really step up, and it makes it so much easier for everyone else on the court, especially myself and Max.
I'm just chopped liver over here coming off the
sorry,
bench.
I forgot.
I'm just weighing us down, I guess.
Sorry, I forgot Brock comes off the bench. He was in the whole game. So.
3-4 last ones for the players. Eric, go ahead, please, first.
Kendall, I got a running list of Big 12 coaches. Kelvin Sampson, Josh Eilert, Iowa State's coach as well, all said that you're one of the best defenders that they face this year. Now, Mike Boynton came in postgame and said that each team needs a Kendall Weaver, and Brock as well, since Brock felt unappreciated, but said each team needs guys like you. What does it mean for a guy who's in your first year in the league to hear coaches talk about you like that?
It means a lot. It makes me want to be better on the defensive end, and I know it's going to help our team a lot.
Kendall, how are you a different player or better player now as compared to November? And then if Dylan and Brock, your guys' opinions on Kendall compared to now as earlier in the year?
I just feel like it goes back to my teammates again, you know, trusting me to make the right plays, and it really boosts my confidence and makes me want to be more aggressive.
Yeah, for Kendall, Kendall had a summer injury, so we weren't able to really mesh over those 3 months. And, at the beginning of the season, that was our time to really get to know him. And now that we've played with him, he's been a star in his role and is, unbelievably fun to play with.
Terry, go ahead, please. Brock, you're a difference maker. You're a disruptor.
Mm-hmm.
When the score got tied, you came back and hit that three. I mean, it's like almost you were ticked off that the game went that way, and you changed the momentum of the game. Can you walk us through what you were thinking about or going through your head?
Just the next play. We had some lackadaisical moments that allowed them to get back in the game, but the group that was in the game that stretched it out, we were focused to every single play, every possession, and just turn the game around.
Christina, go ahead.
For Brock and Dylan, in what ways have you guys seen Kendall grow throughout the season, like specifically in ways that aren't present on the stat sheet?
Yeah, I think Kendall has found his spots and where he's figured out where he scores his points. A lot of those, like the last 2 games in a row, he's been in the perfect position for me when I've been in the post, and they've been like focusing a lot of attention. He sits right there at the elbow/Big 12 area, and he's right there. So just little things like that, finding ways to score without the basketball in his hands has been the biggest thing. And then his energy on defense, he's really ratcheted that up, especially in conference play.
Corey, go ahead. Last one for the players.
Was Brock going to answer?
Well said.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brock.
No, it's well said. I don't know that I could piggyback that any better.
Corey, last one.
Got you. Say less. I got a question for you then, Brock. A couple of weeks ago against the U of H, Bijan came and watched y'all, and now tonight, Tavondre's front and center after doing the whole combine 2 days ago. What does it mean to y'all to have these guys come out and support y'all, and what's that relationship like on campus if y'all have one?
It's great. Texas Athletic Program does a great job of supporting each other. And the Moody Center is, I don't want to call it a mecca, but it's a lot of fun for people to come. The fans make it a great environment. We're winning home games, so it's just a fun place to be, and people want to come support.
Yeah, Brock, Kendall wondered if the Big 12 gives out a 6-man a year award. I'm not sure if they do.
They do.
Which one would you would be the 6-man of the year?
Kendall's the only one.
Brock.
Kendall's the only one in the
Definitely Brock.
conversation. There's no way. I mean, Dylan forgot about me. How could it be me?
Brock's been here so long. He started games at the beginning of the season, so you know what I'm saying. I just he's in his 14th year. He doesn't need any more validation.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys for waiting around. I know we got recruits and all kind of different things going on, but a lot of times I said to our guys, sometimes we don't give a lot of thanks to God and just being here, and we like to give him thanks for giving us an opportunity to be here and do what we have a passion to do and do what we love doing on a regular basis. But Big 12 play, a lot of respect for Mike and what he's been able to do with his ball club this year. He's brought along a really young, talented ball club, who earlier in the conference race, had some struggles. But you saw today that they've really grown as a ball club, and his young players are going to be really, really good. They're super talented, and we knew we were going to come in and play at a high level to beat these guys. They've been playing great. 3 out of the last 4 games, they should have won really 3 out of 4 games. The game with Oklahoma, they had the game won, but they beat a good BYU team at home. They go to Cincinnati and beat a really good Cincinnati team at Cincinnati. So we knew we were going to come in and play at a very high level against a team that was much improved and playing their best basketball right now.
Eric, go ahead, lead us off.
RT, you talked about Sunday's practice not only setting the tone for the Texas Tech game, but wanted to set the tone for how you guys want to play the rest of the year. Now, 2 games removed from that practice, how do you feel your team did specifically in carrying that energy over to tonight or today?
You know what? I think we answered the bell again today in terms of we came back Thursday and had another really physical, competitive practices. And I think from here on out, our guys love the fact that we're having those type of practices. Not that we weren't practicing physical and hard before. We were just at a time during the season where we really had to kind of protect our guys and try to get guys to the floor. And we didn't have the numbers that we have right now that are healthy and ready to go a little bit. So we can be more competitive and play more physical in practice and still be able to have quick turnarounds in terms of carryover in games and things of that nature. So we did. We got back and had a really good practice Thursday. Friday, we dialed it back and really just had tried to have a cerebral day and worked on our shooting and tried to have an empty tank that we needed to try to be ready to play with today.
Coach, in recent weeks you've kind of gone guard heavy. The guards are getting a lot of minutes. What do you like most about, when you're getting Weaver and Horton and, Tyrese Max, they're all getting 30 or so minutes. What do you like most about that group?
Well, again, I think we've gone back and forth a little bit with Weaver and IT to start the game. Again, Kendall's going to play significant minutes regardless. IT's going to play meaningful minutes as well. But they both bring something different to the table. IT can stretch the floor. Team's got to respect his shooting ability. Kendall's going to get to a point where over the course of his career, they're going to respect his shooting ability as well as his driving and putting pressure on the basket. But we know we're going to get a defensive mindset. IT's improved his defensive mindset as well. What Max and Tyrese have done all season long for us in terms of playing really hard on offense and playing really hard on defense as well. We got a chance to play the big lineup for a little bit today as well. We had Brock out there with both Caden and Dessou. And when you're able to do that, that gives you some more rebound and gives you a little bit more physicality and hopefully some paints, opportunities as well.
Hey, Coach, there was that great run by you guys to kind of pull away in the game, but right before that, there was the run by Oklahoma State. I know consistency is something that coaches always preach. Anything you particularly focus on now late in the season to try to get that consistency?
Well, basketball, is a game of runs. And, at the end of the day, how do you stop a run? You stop it with trying to put consecutive stops together. I thought we really put everything and all our onus on our defense to really kind of change the game and got us some separation. We were able to score off our defense in terms of being able to push the ball in transition. But, at the end of the day, I think it's all predicated on getting stops. And we really put a big premium on that part of the game when they went on their run. We're like, hey, guys, we're taking care of the basketball. We're just not getting stops on the other end. We've got to sit down. We got to guard hard. And, we got to cut a couple of these guys' water off that's really getting some things done. Wright was making big shots. We got to stay attached to him. He's a guy that's shooting the ball extremely well. We know Smalls does a great job of getting downhill and trying to create for other guys. So I thought we did a really good job of really locking down defensively and changing the game in that regards.
You've kind of been looking for that reliable third offensive option. I wonder, Brock and Kendall give you 34 off the bench. Could they be that option?
Well, again, I said to our team after the game, I gave Brock a lot of praise in terms of how he played the last two ball games. He was having, arguably his best ball game of the year prior to everything happening Tuesday night. At that juncture of the game, he was playing extremely well on offense. He was playing really well on defense. And I thought he carried that over into practice on Thursday and had really good carryover today. But if we could get, both he and Kendall being stars in their roles at a high level, both offensively and defensively, it definitely changes our team for sure. No question about that.
Terry, third row middle. Coach, they kept it close pretty much the whole game until about that when they tied it in the second half. Brock hit the three. Kendall comes alive. I even wrote down omnipresent next to Kendall's name. Is that a fair assessment of him? And did you just unleash him to say go, or that he just got the opportunity?
We picked up that second foul at the end of the first half, so we had to sit him there for about 3 minutes to go in the first half. But you know what? He's one of those guys, again, we had Tristan Thompson here, and we didn't run one play for Tristan Thompson while he was here in college. And he always reminds me of it all the time. Coach, you guys didn't run one play for me. But, again, he was a guy that impacted the game at a high level without running plays for him. He made his own way, Kendall does the same thing. I mean, we don't really run any plays for Kendall. We run plays for Max, run plays for Dessou. But we don't run any plays for Kendall, and he impacts the game at a high level, offensively and defensively. And, when you have guys like that can just change the game, with their presence in terms of what they do, aside from having their numbers called, boy, that's a big advantage for you. And he's played well all conference long. Again, but he did it in non-conference too, and he does it every day. And he's one of those guys that again, I'll talk about his winning pedigree. He comes from a winning program in high school. That's all they did was win at a high level, and you want guys in your program that come from that kind of background.
Congrats on the win today, Coach. I know Dylan came in and said he feels like the last couple of games they've really started to find their stride on defense. And so from your perspective, what is one thing or multiple things that you felt like this group is starting to get on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, defensively, a lot of games are going to get down to, I mean, we scout pretty hard. Everybody in this league scouts really hard. They've got great coaches that do a great job with game planning. So it's not one thing that you're going to see out there in a game that you're not prepared for or you haven't seen. But at the end of the day, it gets down to one-on-one matchups. We're gonna guard the actions really hard. Now you're gonna have to rely on your scouting report. You have to rely on your preparation in terms of sitting down and trying to win that one-on-one matchup, and along with the team guard. So, defense. You hear it all the time. Defense wins championship. Defense wins games. You got to sit down and take pride in your one-on-one defense. And this team does a great job attacking the paint, trying to put you in rotations, trying to create something for themselves or for a teammate for an open shot. So, it was a high premium for us to really protect the paint and sit down and try to stay in front of guys.
Rodney, as the stakes are raised and the attention increases at this best time of year, as you called it the other day, what are some of the things that lead you to believe that your team can sort of embrace that and peak this time of year?
Well, I think we're still, over the course of this season, I mean, we're finally kind of rounding into shape a little bit in terms of having all our guys, knock on wood, healthy. It took us a while to get everybody to the floor healthy. We had Dessou, at 9 games. Caden, missed, I think, the first 2-3 games. Then came back and got re-injured. Today Dylan Mitchell had a real bad stomach situation. So, I think that really affected his play today. But just getting everybody out on the floor and having everybody, get familiar with one another and really kind of know what we're trying to get done, both offensively and defensively, has been a challenge for this team. But I felt all along, once we got everybody together in the pieces, playing on the same page and having a great chemistry, I think we can be as good as we want to be. And this team had a very high ceiling and compared it a lot to last year's team in terms of how good we could be, once we had everybody in place. And I think we're kind of seeing that right now. We're trusting the process, I think, on both ends of the floor. And, this time of year, you want to be trying to play your best basketball, and I think we're kind of rounding into that a little bit, especially on the defensive end of the floor where we have a defensive mindset and then coming down and executing and knowing what we're trying to get done offensively.
Coach, coming out of the first 2 media timeouts in the second half, what was the message to your team that led y'all to go on those runs, and what kind of changed for y'all?
Well, I think the message was, this time of year, in March, playing March basketball is all about urgency, attention to detail, again, execution on both ends of the floor, trusting your preparation, finishing. So much about March, guys are going to hear me say it all the time. It's about finishing and advancing in March. Finish a cut, finish a possession, finish a half. The teams that really buy into that with the urgency, they're able to advance in postseason play. And that's what you have to try to do this time of year.
Who would be your favorite for Sixth Man of the Year in the Big 12 and why?
Well, I would have to, I'm really biased in terms of the guy that's done it for us all year long. I think Kendall Weaver, without question, has come in and he's put his mark on every game in terms of having an impact, whether it be on the offensive end, defensive end of the floor. But, he comes in and he's going to take on the best offensive player on the other team. And, offensively, he's going to do the little things that it takes to get done offensively. But I think he's been a star in his role all year long, and without question, I think he's a guy that is warranted of being a strong candidate, a Sixth Man of the Year in this league. Just like I think Dylan Mitchell is warranted of being, probably one of the most improved players in this league, in the Big 12. So, am I campaigning for my guys? Absolutely. Is Dessou worthy of being the most improved guy in this league? He too is a candidate being one of the most improved guys in this league as well. So I'm a little biased. I love my guys, and I think they've embraced what their roles need to be for us this year, and I think they've been stars in their role. Thank you.